Second Nature for Children is in the house. Coach, how you doing?
As always, man, I'm great. How about yourself, man?
Man, I'm doing absolutely great, man. So, first thing I want to thank our faithful listeners, man. And I don't know if they want me to shout them out, but I just say I want to just thank the faithful listeners. I want to thank them. So, at the family, come in, man. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. This information. And Coach, I got to say this right here before we even kick things off. I don't know what you said last week that prompt. Now, I hadn't been out there since midweek to prompt
Mhm.
two people to unsubscribe. I, when I,
Oh
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. When I saw it, I said, now, I know Coach, what what
Mm.
could have Coach said? I've been trying to figure out all week because going back listening to it, I didn't hear you say anything. And we talked about why blacks believe rather than act on knowing. And so far, two people unsubscribed. And I said, what did Coach say
Mm.
that make them unsubscribe? So I don't know, but Coach, I didn't hear you say anything wrong. So I'm sure you're gonna come with some more truth. So we may lose a couple of more this week because I got some stuff that I'm getting ready
Well,
to say. What you
ev-
got
ev-
to say?
everybody in their soft era, man.
Okay,
You know,
okay,
their way of pushing back is just to just cut themselves off completely. And that's okay because at the end of the day, man, the truth it'll come back around.
yeah.
Some way, shape, or form where you are. Because you can't run from it, you know. You can't run from the truth. You can't run from yourself. Remember that. So,
And I wish, and I've said this, and I don't say it on every video, that if someone unsubscribe, that's on you. I really don't care because second nature, I'm for children. And I put this information out for adults who want to take their lives to another level. That's the only reason I put this information out. And well, not the only reason, for children to get this information later and do something with it because we've lost so many generations of people. But I'm definitely putting this information out for a younger generation of children to get this information and pass it along their peers so that they can live a more healthy and productive life. Because a lot of us that has gotten to a certain age, it's really a wrap on the mindset that we have. And I know
mm,
some things we say by being truthful, it really bothers some people, but I'm just going to continue to tell the truth. Coach, you continue to tell the truth. And if we lose subscribers because we're telling the truth, then it lets you know even more that it's worse than what I'm already telling you it is.
yeah, yeah, yeah. If you've been observant, you read in certain things, you listen, you realize, man, as a society, majority of people are good with the fake because, like you said, if you recognize the truth for what it is, then you gotta check yourself. You gotta change something because it wouldn't sit well with you knowing what you know, you know. So instead of doing that, I think people are just hey, let me just go the other way. Let me see how long
Absolutely.
that can last, man.
All right. So we're going to
So
keep grinding and that's all we're gonna do. We're gonna just keep grinding and telling the truth. And like I say, with this topic and what we're gonna speak on today, we may lose a couple of more. But I'm fine with that because if we lose on someone on speaking on the truth, then I'm gonna be very honest with you. I don't want them with me anyway. So
yeah, I feel the same way. Yeah.
that's where I'm at. So and just want to share this right here. Some people, no matter how close you are to them, you can't help some people
Oh, I
until
know that for a fact.
until they want to help themselves. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So
yeah,
I'm gonna leave that right
yeah.
there. And coach, today I want to talk to you about and kind of dealing with that subject. Why are blacks sensitive to facts? That's what I want to talk to you about. I want to discuss that. Uh, let's jump right into it right here. Sensitive. According to the American Psychological Association, that's APA, sensitive means the awareness of and responsiveness to others' feelings. Now, that's not the sensitive I'm talking about. That's not the one I'm talking about. I put it like this right here. That means that you can have compassion and concern for others. That's that sensitive when you're dealing with that awareness or that responsiveness. That means that you have a compassion and concern. And a lot of us are a long way from that sensitive, showing compassion and concern for others. Here's just facts. Here's just facts. But, coach, it also means more likely to be easily hurt or offended. Now that's
That's what
the
we just talking about,
now
and then we
now
just
now
talking about.
now that's the
Mhm.
sensitive. Now here we go. Now they jump right into it because now that's the sensitive I'm talking about. That one right there, that means that you are easily hurt by something or you get offended about something. What does hurt mean in feelings? It means that something you have said or done that has made someone feel unhappy. Feel unhappy. Something you have said or done that makes someone feel unhappy. And to be offended, caused to feel upset, annoyed, angry, or resentful. Feelings are expressing bitterness. So I want you to notice how feel or feelings keep popping up. I just want you to notice that. So now we know that we are dealing with a person's emotions. You telling the truth, they may feel some type of way because they may not see it the way you see it. And now you can make them unhappy, or you can upset them, or you can make them angry. I'm trying to figure out, and I hope that who listened to this video can share with me in the comment section. Why do you think that we are so sensitive as a people when it comes to the truth, when it comes to facts? Because we're dealing with a person with emotions. And one thing about emotions is that when your emotions go up in the negative, your intellect drops. That's a fact. Because I can prove what I'm telling you with evidence. You can go through any video I have right now, Coach. We got 235 videos out. If you go through any video that we've put out, and I've told you something was a fact, you come back and show me. Don't tell me. I don't deal with your feelings and emotions. Come back and show me. Prove to me that what I said was wrong. Prove to me,
But
because
thus far, how has anyone done that thus far?
absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. After ministering in what is considered the most notorious jail in the country for 22 years to nothing but killers, I did 22 years ministering to nothing but killers. And sometimes they would send me on the mental challenge floor and deal with them sometimes. But for 22 years, I was in there. And this group of guys were dealing with their emotional, they was emotional psychotic at the time of the crime. And a lot of them, once they were emotional settled, you one never knew that they had done the crime or committed the crime that they was in jail for. When their emotions and feelings went up, their intellect dropped. They committed a crime. Once their emotions were settled, you would have never known that that person committed that crime. So we have to be very careful being so sensitive. And we are a sensitive people. And we have to be careful being sensitive to facts, the truth, because whether you know it or not, it'll change a lot of our lives if we begin to live on facts.
Yeah, it would, but do people really want to change? I
That's the,
mean, that's the question. If you really want to change, you want to know every little thing about you that you could change. If you really want to change, if you just brush it aside as it pop up, like I say, you up and down because it's the truth, and you brush it aside, be it with, you know, your profanity, be it with whatever. That's not going to stop it from coming up because it's just the truth. So do people really want to change?
and by you asking that right there, I think from dealing with people for so many years, they say that they want to change. Some say they want to change. But on a bigger hand, or a bigger scale, or however you want to say it, I don't see where a lot of us want to change because a lot of us don't see nothing wrong. Yeah, a lot of us don't see nothing wrong. Coach, it has gotten so bad to some of us are so opinionated, meaning you have a very strong opinion and refuse to accept that you may be wrong. I want you to understand what we're talking about. A lot of us are so opinionated. A lot of us think that our opinion is the truth.
Yeah.
And we won't even accept that. You sit down and think about that. That may be wrong. How you looking at that? That may be wrong. But a lot of us don't want to admit, and this is another thing too. A lot of folks don't want to admit when they're wrong about something.
I'm about to say that.
Yeah,
Hey man, you on that yesterday, yeah, you're right. You're right.
yeah.
You're right on that. I mean, dang, what? That's just maturity. That's just you checking yourself and like, what, dang, I was wrong.
And by you saying that,
I mean, what's oh man?
we're not maturing, and that's definitely one of the problems. And one of the biggest problems that a lot of us have is trying to make our perspective and our belief and how we feel facts. A lot of
Good,
us,
good luck with that.
a lot, that's crazy. I've literally had conversations with people throughout the years would definitely try to take their perspective, their belief, and how they feel about something and try to make that thing a fact. That's a problem that we're having. And they trying to do it with no proof and no evidence. And I'm saying to myself, you got to be crazy. That's not how that go. That's not how that works. And it makes them upset or angry when you can present facts that goes against their belief. I've had people to show enough get mad when I presented facts and evidence to show them that the way you're looking at that, that's not right. And literally, I've had people, coach, to get upset and angry. We're very sensitive to facts. We're very sensitive. And I get mad. And I get mad when you tell them that it's considered, watch this right here, that it's considered by the mental health department, not me. You can pull it up. It's considered by the mental health department a lack of common sense when someone has presented evidence that your perspective or opinion is wrong. They get mad. They say that's, and now you're getting ready to offend them. You're getting ready to get them upset if you tell them that they have a lack of common sense. You sure enough getting ready to start a fight now. But I'm not talking about you or trying to down you or low grade you. I'm just stating because we've done the video on triggered words, and that's something that'll trigger someone if you tell them that they have a lack of common sense. But I'm just simply describing it to you from the mental health department, where they're saying no matter how you are looking at something, if someone can prove to you with evidence that the way you're looking at it is wrong, it's considered a lack of common sense. I know we're gonna lose one or two more people on this one right here, but I'm fine with it because they're not trying to get right anyway. If you have an opinion, coach, and someone else have an opinion on the same subject, and no one can prove anything about their different perspectives on how they see it, then they should both respect each other's opinion and then just move on.
Yeah, but that goes without saying to me. That goes without saying, man.
And and it goes without saying to you because you show common sense. But remember earlier, some people would take their perspective and their opinion to make it a fact because they believe it so strongly. They have a lack of common sense because they believe. But just because you believe something, just because you accept something, family, we got to do better. It doesn't make it true. We got to do better. But when someone can trump your opinion with the fact, I hope you can make the adjustments that need to be made instead of continuing to think a certain way when someone have shown you. And watch how simple it can be when some, especially once you prove it with evidence, when someone have shown you that in the United States we start off with A, B, C. It sounds very simple, yeah, but and you keep telling them no, it's C, A, B, and then they prove to you, and then you want to continue to say something is wrong. They call that a lack of common sense. So, coach, I don't know if you really thought about it, but why you think blacks are so sensitive to the truth, to facts? Have you thought about that? Because we're very sensitive to it.
Yeah, let me start off by saying, man, certain people I'm not going to have dialogue with. I mean, once I hear certain things, I'm gonna say what I need to say, and that's it. I'm not gonna have dialogue because to me it's a waste of time, it's a waste of energy.
Mm.
You know, you want to learn the hard way, go ahead and learn the hard way. You go ahead and do that. If you embrace the truth willingly, that says a lot about you as an individual, right? Because you start with yourself. Like I told about having an inventory of yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, things you need to check off, things you need to work on. There isn't anything someone else can say about you that can really tick you off because you're already doing the work on you, right? And that transcends into average dialogue about a topic or something that has nothing to do with you, right? If you know that what you were saying or you provided with evidence that what you how you used to think, that's wrong. Why would you not embrace that for what it is? Why are you going to push back against that? Because you are wrong. Come on, man. So you know everything. You got to be right with everything. Come on. Nah, nah, nah. To me, that's a sense of immaturity. That's a sense of someone who is not trying to evolve. Because if you're trying to evolve with a person, that's what you embrace the truth, regardless of how uh hurtful you can say it may seem, whatever, you know the truth. So you know, building on that, you good. You know, you do what you need to do because you know you're building on the truth. But It's work, man.
Mm.
It's work. We're in a society right now that the lies are faster, more believable. People wouldn't even try to do a little research to see, man, is that the truth? Let me just check, because it's not going to hurt anything. Double check, triple check. Is that the truth? Let me check on that. You know. So if you are not trying to evolve as a person, if you're immature, if you don't see life for what it is, being getting closer to your best self, I can see you pushing against that. I can see that. And that's something that you have to do willingly. No one can force you to do that. I'm not going to keep talking to, hey, man, you might need to do so and so. Why? Because if you don't, this is what's going to happen. I can point you in the direction and show you what is being said, you know. I always go with the money thing, the financial thing.
Absolutely.
Don't put them coins aside. Don't watch how you spend. You'll see. You'll see. Taxes are going up, insurance going up, and I'm talking about all insurance. Homeowners, cars, everything. Whether you file a claim or not, they're going up. Come on, man. You got to embrace it for what it is. And that's with anything. If you're trying to, be a step or two ahead of things, not find yourself in a position where you're in between a rock and a hard place. Why would you shun the truth? Why would you? How is that going to hurt you? Initially, it might because you got that reality check, but moving forward, man, you building on that. That's the way I see that. That's just my opinion. You know.
That's facts. That's facts. Yeah, that's facts, coach. That's that right there. And I'm listening to you and I'm trying to say, what is it that coach is saying that's making people unsubscribe? I'm trying to pick, I ain't picking that, I ain't found coach. I haven't found nothing yet. I say, you know what? When I go on here today, I'm gonna listen to coach attentively. So if he mess around and say
Man,
anything out of place, I'm gonna say the coach, that right there.
I go back to stuff we talk about, and I'm comfortable saying what I say unapologetically because that's my thought process, and that's just how things are. Period. At least in my world. The world I'm living. I don't know the world what, the unsubscribers living in, but come on, man. I'm not running from the truth. You know, I want to be prepared moving forward. I've always been like that. You know what I mean? So, hey,
And by you saying that, that's why I would say, I don't care if someone unsubscribed, that's on you. But I would like for you to put in the comment section and share with the family what was said. Why did you do it? We because coach told you to go out and put 3, 4 days a week in to begin to take care of yourself. Because coach said as you're getting older, change your eating habits. I just want you to understand our conversation. What would make you unsubscribe? If what? What is it the exercising? Is it you got to change the food? Is it if you don't, are you causing yourself on a higher scale, a premature death? What is it? When we
and
talking about the, go ahead on.
that's what I'm talking about. And I didn't mean to cut you, but
No,
that's what I'm
no.
talking about, that maturity. Because if you on that level, I already talk about it's levels to life, it's levels to everything. If you're on that level, you say, man, I don't agree with you because A, B, C, D, E, whatever. That's it. So you don't owe anyone that. But I'm talking about if you're on that level of maturity, man, let me let you know this is why I can't fool with you. Because I don't
Oh,
have a problem telling anybody why I'm not messing with them. To their face, I prefer to tell them to their face. I ain't got no problem telling them that. So you can't say, well, you know what? I don't like what they talking about. I don't whatever. But I'm gonna let them know this is my issue, you know,
yeah,
and that's it. That's maturity.
yeah. And
That's
and I
maturity.
and and I would love for them to share that because how can you tell me? And I want the family to let me know. How can you tell me if he's trying to tell me how to take care of myself? Well, he don't tell me what to do. I do what I want to do. Absolutely right.
You're right.
Absolutely right.
Right.
If yeah, all I'm doing is like I said earlier, I'm just speaking to people who want to take their life to another level. If you don't want to take your life to another level, you don't have to listen. That's on you.
Stay right
Absolutely.
where you are.
But see, the reason I wanted them to share it because I want the family to be able to see where we are mentally, what truth ran him or her away. I want the family to be able to see because it's nothing. Because let me tell you something. If I ever tell you anything, you can go back through 235 videos. If I ever state something as being a fact, and you can show me, prove to me with evidence. Don't tell me nothing. Show me. And if you can show me that I was wrong about something, I have no problem with saying, wow, okay, I see that. But you better be sharp because I'm very careful when I come on here with my information and I've
Mm.
done my homework. I've done my homework. That's why I don't worry about nobody coming at me when I say it's a fact. When I say that it's a fact that if you don't begin to take care of yourself better, you just causing a premature death. That's a fact. That can be proven. That's a fact. If you mess around, you keep getting older and you don't change your diet and you keep eating all that crazy stuff, you keep drinking too much, you keep smoking too much, you keep just running that body in the ground, you are headed to a premature death. That's a fact. That's a fact. When I tell you that a lot of decisions that we're making mentally, that we are either dealing with mental issues, illnesses, or some type of bipolar or something mentally, or some type of trauma, listen, man, that's a fact. Because you could see it in our behavior. See, you don't understand how we are studied and all they have to do, regardless of how you look at something, how you see something, they watch your behavior. And your behavior tells it all. Yeah, your behavior. You can't tell me that you can went down the street and you can broke in somebody's house, and now all of a sudden they calling you a thief, and you're not a thief, and you protesting again. I'm not a thief. Listen, they not just beginning to call you a thief. They begin to call you a thief because of your behavior. You broke in somebody's house. So no matter how you look at it, your behavior is on display. And that's why and where you can see that mentally something is wrong. It's something in the subconscious mind, or either it's that third eye that a lot of us don't even understand, that haven't became or become conscious enough to open up to be able to see simple things because it's closed. So I'm not understanding why would you unsubscribe to the truth, to facts. It's a fact that you would never ever, when I say this, and I think some people get offended when you're competent about something or when you say something.
Yeah, you
Uh,
make a bold statement. You
when you
stand, you know what I mean? Yeah, 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 yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
think that really bothers some people. But I'm gonna stand on the truth and I'm gonna make that bold statement. I'm gonna make it every time. It's a fact that if you want to accomplish anything in life, if you don't tap into principles, you won't achieve it. That's a fact. I don't even care if you want to be a bum. It comes with consistency. That's a fact. How could you, how do you leave? How do you say that's not true? When I tell you that your life is part of the universe, and if you sit down and meditate and take the time when you see that something crazy is going on in your life and know that you are a part of this universe and your life go through the same seasons that the universe go through. When I tell you it's a fall season and it's something that you need to give up, that's a fact. That's life. It's gonna be a time in your life you need to give something up, and you could be going through turmoil in your life because you're trying to hold on to something that you need to let go. That's
Mm.
a fact. That's a fact. If you
You either
live,
give it up willingly, or it'll be taken from you. You know, this life work, man.
that's
They'll,
a
let it, they live long enough. They'll find out. Live long enough. You're gonna find out.
That's a fact. Coach, it's a fact when it's a spring season, when there's a time in your life where there's a renewing time with something old you need to get rid of, and it's time for you to do something new. And you're not making that change, and you wonder and again why your life is going through turmoil because it's something that you should have let go so something new can come. That's a fact, family. That's a fact. It's a winter time when it's something that you need to do more of. You know, you're not doing more of. You need to pack more on because it's a cold season. So it's something that you're not doing enough of. You need to do more of it. That's a fact. That's a fact. It's a hot season, a summer season where you need to get away from something for a while. It's a vacation time. You need to let something go for a while. You can come back to it, but you need to let it go for a while.
Say something or someone. So
Absolutely. And I want to be clear by you saying that.
yeah.
Absolutely. Either something or someone. Absolutely. When you going through these seasons, it's either something or someone. Could be someone you should let fall away during the fall season. It need someone that it need to be a renewal with somebody in the spring season. Someone where it's a lot of you may need to get rid of it. Someone that hot season, that summer season, where you need to get away from it for a while, collect your thoughts, revamp, regroup, get it together before you go back. If you go back, you may go into another direction, or it may be a hot season where it's just like fireworks during a hot season, and we do what they call the 4th of July, just where they using fireworks. Where when you look at a firework and it's only cardboard and gunpowder, and you really can't see the beauty in it until you put fire to it. And you may not understand why right now it feel like you in a hot season. You could be in a season where it's trying to pull the beauty out of you, but you don't understand because you haven't taken the time to acknowledge who you are as an individual and get in tune with nature. How could you unsubscribe from that? That's facts. So I'm not understanding us, coach. We're in trouble. I want this information to hit out to people who want to take their life to another level, and definitely for these babies who coming up to be able to see that there's another way of thinking. Because the way a lot of us are thinking now, it's a wrap. Because it's a fact that we are addicted to simply entertainment and gossip. That's a fact. We so caught up in material things and that love of money. Oh man, it's dangerous. We are a dangerous people to each other. We dangerous. And it's so sad that we are very sensitive to the truth, that we are very sensitive to facts. You got anything else you want to share, Coach? I'm done. I hate to see us like this, man. And like I said, I hate to see that we're not coming together as a people. I hate to see us being so sensitive, so emotional. And I'm finding out even more now as time go on that men are more emotional than women because when I go to the jail, I got more men that are locked up from emotional crimes than women. When I see road rages, I got men who's committed more road rages than women. When I'm seeing fights and shootings and all of this crazy stuff, yeah, women do it, but they don't do it at the level that the men are doing it. And our men have lost it because they are so emotional. I'm done with it, coach.
If you locked in, man, in terms of, and I can't say it enough, being a better person. If you locked in that, if you know Your happiness comes from within. There's not too much. Yeah, someone can get you upset, but not to the point where, you take it a whole nother level and derail your journey because of that one incident, you know. So for me, it's just a combination of things, man. Too many people are not embracing the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody wants to doubt that, just look around us. Look around us. Wherever you are, look at our condition. I'm not talking about I'm talking about us as a unit, collectively. Look at our condition, wherever you are. Wherever you are, look at our condition. Yes, there are other elements that are responsible, but we're responsible to some degree too, man. Okay, so that's it. That's not embracing the truth for what it is. You know, it starts with you, man, as an individual. And once you do that with yourself, as you look around you, as you look outward, you can do it with everything else and everyone else. You know who to stay away from, who to get closer to. You see that. But that's if you want to deal with the truth. No one can make you do that, man. You have to do it on your own. Some way, shape, or form, you wake up and you say, you know what, man, I'm tired of this. And you just start, doing what you ought to be doing. But like I said, man, it come from inside. So hopefully what we say occasionally can spark that. But if it doesn't, then it's still on you, man. And if you want to unsubscribe, hey, ain't no hurt here, no hard feelings here. I'm still great. I'm gonna be great. And I'm gonna keep going on being great. You know what I mean? So,
Absolutely.
hey man, different don't always mean wrong, man. Look at certain things different, you know, might surprise you. Pleasantly, might surprise you. That's my take, man.
Coach, I'm gonna leave it right there. Unless I go back and listen to it, I didn't hear you say anything that should make anybody unsubscribe. So if someone unsubscribe after this one right here, then I know that they were sensitive to facts. And until the next time, Coach, I'll
All right,
holler.
man. Peace
I
out.
take care, buddy.
All right.